Bullet for love. The argument hung in the air, thick and heavy like a storm cloud. It's too reckless, Taehyung. YN pleaded, her voice tight with worry. Your life isn't a game. Taehyung, dressed in a sleek, dark suit, ran a hand through his hair. This is who I am, YN. It's a part of me. I'm good at it. I'm careful. But his words did little to soothe her. She turned, her flowing crimson silk dress, a stark contrast to his polished look, and walked away, the silence of the empty apartment, a testament to their unresolved fight. The next day, the world was a blur of chaos and gunfire. Taehyung, in full tactical gear, moved through the war-torn cityscape with practiced ease. He was focused, his senses heightened, until a flash of crimson caught his eye. It was YN, in the same silk dress from the night before, running towards him through the smoke and rubble. His heart stopped. No, he screamed, but his voice was lost in the din. She reached him, throwing her body in front of his just as a volley of shots rang out. She crumpled into his arms, her eyes closed, her head falling gently to the side to rest against his chest. The world went silent, save for the echo of a single final heartbeat, her own, now gone. The hospital room was sterile and cold, a stark contrast to the warmth that had just left his life. He sat there for hours, holding her still hand, until the doctor came in. I'm so sorry, the doctor said, his voice soft. She didn't make it. Taehyung's world shattered, and he grabbed at his hair, pulling at the roots in a silent scream. And then, the doctor added the final, crushing blow. She was pregnant, Mr. Kim. She was going to tell you today. The shock was too much. A sharp, searing pain tore through his chest. He clutched his heart, his breath catching in his throat, and collapsed to the floor. The last thing he saw before the world went black was the panicked faces of his brothers, rushing into the room, their expressions a mix of horror and grief. Weeks turned into a gray, endless blur. Taehyung recovered physically, but his spirit was gone. He moved through his days like a ghost, the vibrant world around him muted and meaningless. His brothers were a constant presence, trying to help him, but his grief was a wall no one could break through. The doorbell rang, a jarring sound in the quiet house. Standing there was a woman dressed in a sleek, dark, tactical-style suit, her eyes burning with a cold fury. It was Yuna, YN's twin sister. You, she spat, her voice a low growl. You took my sister from me. You were too careless, too selfish. You don't deserve to live. Taehyung didn't protest. He simply looked at her, his eyes filled with a profound sadness. You're right, he whispered. I deserve this. Yuna pulled out a gun, the same kind that had ended her sister's life, and shot him. She tortured him, but he endured it all, his face a mask of peaceful acceptance. The other members arrived just as Taehyung's last breath left him. Yuna stood over his body, triumphant. But Jimin stepped past her, his eyes fixed on Taehyung's still form. He looked at Yuna, his expression one of pity. You think you killed him? He said, his voice a low, mournful sound. You only killed his body. His soul died the day YN did. You just gave him what he wanted most, a way to be with her again. Yuna stood alone in the silence, the gun falling from her hand. She looked from Taehyung's lifeless body to the empty space where her sister had been. Her vengeance had brought her nothing but a hollow victory. She had taken a life, but she had not brought one back, and in her heart, she knew she was now just as broken as the man she had just killed.